Yo, what is up, guys? Here with another deck profile. We got another week of locals in. We are currently in peak week, guys. Next Sunday, I'm going to Rosemont, and we're about to see, if all the practicing and testing paid off. So yeah, basically where we left off is I've been playing Deep Sea King Turbo for a while. Last couple weeks, doing pretty well. I feel pretty safe with it, pretty comfortable with it. But I had to admit to myself that I needed to try out some type of Lancia variant before I completely disregarded it and just went straight down the Deep Sea King line. Now, I did not play pure Lancia control. Today, we actually played I don't know what to call it. Maybe we just call this hybrid Mermail Atlanteans. I don't know, hybrid water. But I played Deep Sea King and I played Lancia control in the same list. I've been seeing some lists do that as well, so I knew it wasn't completely uncharted territories. This is my take on it, my initial thoughts. I think the only issue I have with this list is just my lack of playtime, my lack of practice with it. Especially when considering Ice Jade Ran Lancia lines, it just doesn't. I just don't have that as dialed in as I do like the Deep Sea King combos. So, I guess as well, we can talk about this. This list is a 44 card list. I did go undefeated today, so it's not like I did bad at all. 4 rounds, undefeated. Some of them are pretty close, but yeah, we'll get to check out the matches over the course of this week, and yeah. So let's just get into it. I don't want to ramble too long. My phone's gonna die, so I'm gonna try to get this in time. So first, 44, like I said, 44 card list, and we'll start with the Atlanteans. 3 Neptibus. I guess we'll probably just go one at a time. Yeah, 3 Neptibus. Not much to say here. Best card in the deck. I'm not going to waste time talking on it. 1 infantry for today. Now, the reason for the 1 infantry over the 2, I actually do prefer the 2. And I think today even made me realize even more how much I prefer 2. Because all the times I would open infantry, it was only a positive for me. Whether my opponent drolled me and I just had that hard infantry in hand for like Shrine Lacia combos. Or going into a board, just having the instant infantry to pop your opponent's cards, super relevant. And yeah, I definitely think even in this hybrid variant where there are more bricks, the second infantry is probably still important and probably still needs to be played. And I'll talk about what card I think I would be cutting for that when I get there. Next we have three shrines. Yep, still best card in the deck. This is still nothing has really changed in terms of like the plan. Your first action should still always be Shrine, and as long as your first action is Shrine, you always have Deep Sea King, you always have Lancia. This card is just insane. So yeah, Shrine's huge. Next we got 3 Dragoons. Nothing much to say there. 3 Dragoons. Opening multiple Dragoons is insane. It's amazing. I love it. So yeah, so that's it for the Atlanteans. Like other than the second infantry, everything here is standard. Next for the Mermails, we got 3 Bisteus. Nothing much to say here. Best Mermail in the deck. Hard extender. The fact that it's once per turn to cost 1, it came up multiple times a day. It was very nice. And then just how important it is to be able to start your plays with Teus and Squad or Teus Pitch Dragoons. The fact that you can have 2 searches resolve. Well, I guess more in the case of Dragoons. The fact that you can have 2 searches resolve before you get what would you call it? Drolled is really cool, really important. And yeah, so moving on, Megalo shining bright like a diamond, dude. This card, it's really cemented itself. If there was ever a time where I wanted to cut the Megalo gun engine, it would have been today. Thinking that I'm playing so many engines currently that maybe the Megalo is it's just a little too much. Like I'm already playing bricks for the Lancia. I'm already playing bricks for the Deep Sea King. Do I really want to add in the soft bricks of Megalo and Gund? And it looks like the answer to that question was yes. So I'm very happy that I decided to play the Megalo today. All right, next here we got 3 Mermilibus Pike. Yeah, so we're still playing 3 Pikes because we're playing the Deep Sea King build. And then even if I wasn't playing Deep Sea King, I would still at least play 2. Pike is a great starter. It's one of my favorites going into a board. I always rather have like a Pike discard Squad Dragoons over ever Normaling Prince. It's just way more impressive, and it's better, and it's also stronger normal summon than Diva. Obviously, this is not a 1-card combo. It always requires a combo piece in hand. But then even in the most simplified game states, like if I have like Pike in a Dead Water versus like just normal summon Diva, I'm probably still picking Pike. Just off the fact that it's this is less threatening of a card, and as long as you can get the Shrine off the Pike, then you're at least doing something. You're at least playing. So yeah, I can definitely say today was maybe the day where I noticed there were the most amount of multiple normal summon brickish type of hands. And so that's something I'll have to take into account for the regional. I played a 44 card list. I would maybe suggest to myself bumping it up to 45 and then just adding one more engine piece and seeing if that helps at all. Just with how often I'm seeing those multiple normal summon hands. Maybe there's not too much I can do about it. Maybe it's just luck and variance of the day. But yeah, overall, Pike's still a great card, and was very happy with it at 3. Next, and we have 3 triple squad here. Not much to say. Squad's crazy. And then 1 gun for the last Mermail. And yeah, I really like Gun today. Gun's just like, the fact that Gun can summon back Squad just makes it such a more relevant card. Also the fact that we're just constantly threatening Bahamut plays, that Gun just adds to that. And so Gun's a very necessary extender, I believe. But yeah, so that's it from the Mermails. Next we'll get into the deep sea cards. So today I played Triple Minstrel. So my reasoning for trying Triple Minstrel was, so when combining the Lancia and the Deep Sea King builds together, I had decided that the Shift Goatee, the level 2 tuner I've been using for our Deep Sea King M boards, I decided that card was probably not super necessary. That when looking for potential bricks to cut from the deck, that Shift was probably the least important of all the water targets I had. And the reason I felt that way, because my main enjoyment of Shift was being able to go into the porpoise play. And that's still very attainable with Minstrel, because you're always searching for Minstrel in your combo line, and you're sending, and if not, then you have a card in hand to discard out the Poseidra, and you don't have to send your goons off Poseidra. You can just send Minstrel to dump it that way, and then when you're summoning back 2 level 3s, you're always using Minstrel back as one of them. And then it just gets you to your porpoise anyways. So the idea with playing Triple Minstrel was either hard. So one, it's very viable going first. I was afraid and anticipating more brick hands, just due to the fact that I do play more bricks. That I was hoping that if I'm going to play more bricks, then hopefully I will be opening Minstrels as well. So when I open like the 1 card starter and the brick water that doesn't do anything plus a Minstrel, at least I can attempt to play from there. But then also Minstrel is pretty, game 1s, it's not a bad card going second if you have something to pair with it, like a Squad or Dragoons. Just being able to get the instant hand knowledge as you're, dissecting your opponent's board and figuring out how you're going to break it. Having full hand knowledge is a huge help, and it takes care of that insurance Nibiru that they might have in their hand. And yeah, so the idea was you either hard open the Minstrel and you just snipe the hand, or this is always going to be your target that you need to get in rotation somehow to get to your porpoise play. And yeah, Triple Minstrel seemed fine. I actually don't think I ever opened, maybe once I opened Minstrel today. I'll have to go back in my matches when we're looking at them and check for that, but I don't think I actually ever really opened Minstrel today. I would definitely debate playing just 2 Minstrel and then playing the second infantry here. That might be the target I cut. Maybe I just add the infantry anyways, just to have more waters available. Hard to say as of now, but yeah, Triple Minstrel did not feel bad. It definitely did not feel bad, especially with the higher deck count. There was never times where I saw multiples of these, and even if you do, you just pitch a Minstrel with a Minstrel, and it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it's hard to say at this point. I'm not sure how I want to handle the Minstrel going forward. And then I still played the 1 Diva. I actually cut this card, but I put it back in again. I cut this card due to the fact that, mixing these 2 engine variants together, I had to figure out where's the fat in the deck, what am I cutting, how am I keeping the deck list at a disciplined number. And so Diva originally was going to go. It was going to be a 43 card list, so I added this card in last second. And because off the fact that I remember that Diva is an extender, it is not a starter. Yes, it is a starter, but I'm not playing it as a starter. It's strictly a card you want to use mid to late game. After you use your points resources, you activate Triana. After Poseidra resolves and someone's back to the field, you have your infantry on board and you normal summon the Diva and you just clean house from there. That's what we're doing. And yeah, and also in hands where you are able to save a normal summon and you're able to Minstrel their hand before, then you just get the extra body, and that definitely matters, especially in this list, because if you go hard down the Lancia cards, you are subject to have to give up your Mulan if you want to go full full Lancia combo, whatever that might be. A lot of the times you don't have that extra body if you don't have a Tegasm rotation, so that Diva can kind of get you there as well. And yeah, so I like Diva. I definitely don't think I want to cut it. As a one-of, it is definitely stayed strong as a one-of. I don't think I would play more. But yeah, so let's get into some of our, our one-of water power cards. So we got Mulan. No need to talk about that. Deep Sea King. I opened this a few times. I do play Abyss Keeper. It came up. I was able to Abyss Keeper, flood the field. Deep Sea King, it's just too strong to cut. Truly, I did want it to not play Deep Sea King, but I just felt like the power I get from Deep Sea King is a lot more important and a lot more valuable than the protection I get in the defense I get from Lancia. While Lancia does handle shifter boards, or getting shifted a lot better. Deep Sea King is just too strong going to a board. It's like, I'm using all my cards in hand. I'm bringing my opponents down to, using all the resources. They see I have one card in hand, and it just looks like I'm going to lose from here. And then it's just Shrine, Tribute, Deep Sea King, spam the field. Totally awesome. It just doesn't stop. And I just feel like Deep Sea King is just too important not to play. I don't even know. I have not looked at really. I know what the new water cards do, but I can't imagine myself cutting Deep Sea King. It feels like it'll still be really good. I know a lot of guys are talking about how like the Deep Sea King card gets completely cut when the new support comes out, and maybe it does. And maybe it's better for the deck if it does, but I don't know, dude. Deep Sea King seems super powerful. I did play one Ice Shade Rand today. I played Rand because we're playing Lancia, so this card has a lot more value in the deck now. And I definitely would never play more than one of this just because it's a once per turn card. I also don't really have the expectation to ever resolve more than one. I mean, this is a card you need to resolve one time and it's done its job. It did come up that the fact that you can summon off Colon Enemy, that is very cool. I'm pretty sure I did that in one of my matches today. It might have been an off-camera match. I don't remember. Obviously, we'll go back and see. But yeah, Rand did come up a couple times, and it's cool when it does. You get a Lancia out of it. And yeah, so not too much to say. I liked it. In this type of style list, the hybrid style, Rand's definitely necessary. It's nice to be able to pick between. It's nice to be able to search the Rand when you open the Deep Sea King. That did happen a couple times today. So yeah, that was cool. Also in game states where I know that my opponent is going to do something to my Deep Sea King, that they're going to like remove it from play before I can activate it. Because just based off of board knowledge, it's nice to have something like Rand to be able to search off of the Shrine instead of just giving my opponent Deep Sea King to just deal with. It has some more. I have some more flexibility in like the plays I can make, which is nice. And then I also played General Ryo for the Lancia, and yeah, General was cool. Yeah, not too much to say about it. It's a floodgate, and it did floodgate things. So yeah. Next, we have our power spells. 1-for-1, Deep Sea Aria and Triana. So, 1-for-1 and Triana, no need to talk about these. These cards are crazy. But Deep Sea Aria, I did decide to play one of this. This card is a lot more viable now that our deck discards so much more easily. Before you had a very limited, I felt like discard target, discard applications. But the fact that just the triple Shrine definitely makes a pretty huge difference. And it's not just triple Shrine, it's also the issue with Deep Sea Aria was you would play this after you normal summon. A lot of the time that this wouldn't be live until after your normal summon, and then you're basically like, well, you're searching Prince or Dragoons off of this thing. And a lot of the times in Old Water, the Dragoons you'd search wasn't that important, and you've already used your normal summon, so you can't get anything good like a Prince off of it. But now we have so much extension in the deck, and our extenders do so much more, and the options you can search off this are so much greater, that this card's actually pretty strong now. So I'm actually pretty interested in playing this at like 2 copies. I think I saw this once or twice today, and the times I saw it, it came up and it did exactly what it needed to do, and being able to search my deck for any Sea Serpent, including Minstrel, which is also, I believe, the card I searched, just really, really strong. So yeah, Deep Sea Aria did really well today. And next, for non-engine, played 3 Perulia. This card, these Charmies are so weird. Like they seem so broken at, first glance and from someone who doesn't own them. But then once you actually pick them up, you start playing with them, they're maybe a little underwhelming, but I think just the pros of these things just outweigh the cons. It's the mental mind games, level 4, water, low attack, cold enemy. Free discard. It's too free. It's too free, and you can just randomly have those matchups where like your opponent, like if you can draw 2 cards off this thing, you're golden. You know, you're golden. So I still like Perulia, and this card will definitely stay in the main for the regional. Next, I played 3 Ash. No real thing to talk about here. You hit the Charmies. It hits. You know, it's a good hand trap. It's too all around. It hits too many things. No reason not to play it. And then I guess real quick, other hand trap I played 3 Imperm. And yeah, so these were all the hand traps I played. I did want to try lowering the hand trap count, seeing how that felt, and I actually really liked it. You know, in terms of the non-engine to engine count, I was pretty happy. I was only ever really seeing 1 hand trap at a time. And you know, whatever, if you're seeing any of these hand traps, you're never really upset. There were times where I would top deck Imperm per turn, and that's strong. Top decking Ash is strong, and then even top decking Perulia is strong. If it's a matchup, you can use it. You can discard it right away. If it's not, it's just always a discard for water, so you don't even mind. It's just fuel. And well, yes, it just being a dead water in your hand isn't actually a good thing, but you have to look at the applications that it has. That like this is a turn ender. It's a going second card that you get to use to play your deck going first. So like that's just really strong. So yeah, these hand traps did really well, and I'm really happy with this idea. I also played Call By and Double Talents today. You know, I'm seeing that people are saying that Talents is crazy, that you have to play it. I decided that Call By is needed to be played in the main deck, just because of you're hitting a lot of graveyard effects, so it's definitely optimal card going second into a board, as well as just being able to hit the crazy cards like, you know, random drolls, you're not expecting it, shifters, charmies. You know, I just want to have as many cards as I can to hit the charmies and hit cards like droll and shifters as I can, and like this card's just too generic. It's crazy. So we're obviously just gonna main the Call By. But yes, 2 talents. I think this card came up once today, and it just let me win more. It didn't actually help me do anything. So I don't know how I feel about these. There's definitely a world where you can just I could just cut these, put in an infantry, put in Deep Sea Aria, and literally keep it a 44 deck count, and then just play that. And like that's probably just a more consistent version of my deck. Probably, although I never really saw talents, so it wasn't like talents ever negatively affected my hands anyways. So it's a little hard to say. Not really sure what I want to do with these 2 slots. Maybe I keep one in and have it for cross out, you know, maybe like I cut one, just play one as like, if I see it, great, if not, whatever. Hard to say here. Not too sure. I also don't even know if I even want to play this list for the regional. I was really kind of hoping the Lancia stuff wouldn't do well, just so I could mark it off and just continue playing the Deep Sea deck, Deep Sea King Turbo. But the deck did do well. It was very flexible, which I liked. I just had a lot of options, and that makes me kind of want to do it again, to play this deck for the regional. I just got to figure out what I want my main deck to look like. How much non-engine do I want to play? How much engine do I want to play? It's a little tough at the moment. I'm a little lost, just because I wasn't planning on this deck doing well. I went in today very nervous, thinking this deck was not going to perform whatsoever, thinking I was going to break a bunch, but that didn't really turn out that way. So yeah, it's hard to say where the list will fall for the regional. Moving on to the extra deck. Played for Lynx. One of all the good ones. Zealantis came up today. King came up today. Lacia came up today. Coral comes up. Abyss Keeper come up. All these cards come up. These are all mandatory. I do not care. You have to play every one of these. Oh, this if you're playing Deep Sea King, obviously. But yeah, these are. We already know the link conversations. You know, we already know that you want to play 2 Coral. I can't fit it. I have 1 flex spot. We'll get there when we get there, for this list at least. And yeah, I just there's really nothing much to say here. I mean, we've been going over these links for weeks now. Next into XCs, we play 1 Poseidra, 1 Gaios. You know, it's the same thing with this deck. You'd love to have a 20 card extra deck. You'd love to be able to play multiples of these. You can't. You can only fit. You know, there's only enough room for 1 of each, and these cards are crazy, game breaking. Like, this is your win conditions. This is how you win. Poseidra is insane. Next, 2 Bahamut, 2 Toad. It's a standard. You want 2 Toads. The 2 Toad double Bahamut thing it's solidified at this point. Not much to talk about. And then, I did also, no Kraken, no Dweller, no Leviature Dragon. I did not play Kraken because Lancia was now my new shifter out, so Kraken seemed less necessary. I did not play Dweller, which we'll get to we'll get to that in a second. I had one flex spot in the extra deck. And then I guess, yeah, we'll finish the extra deck first. So I played Shending. This was my flex spot. This was an extra 10. I played Lancia, played Trish, and Porpoise. So I guess we'll go backwards. So Porpoise, still amazing. I do not play the level 8 synchro because I'm not trying to do level 8 synchro plays. I'm just trying to use Porpoise to force out and obtain another rank 4 option, and that's what Porpoise does. So we still love that. He's a great extender for the deck, just producing a bunch of bodies. And then we do play Trishula as our one target for Lancia. I did not play Zero because it seems like the applications where the synchro summon will come up, that really Trishula is just a better one. That, we're dealing with board states right now where, there's Fiendsmith cards in the graveyard, there's cards on the field like Bestials or something, and then there's always cards in the hand, and it just seems like Trishula is handling these boards a lot better than the Zero. Plus, Trishula's a lot better going first. Yeah, and another really cool thing about Trishula is you get to hard make it. So when you Poseidra, if you want to, you just Poseidra for 3 level 3s, and you make Trish that way. And I did do that today, and it felt pretty cool. You just hard Trish them, loot their whole hand. Lancia was a very interesting card. It didn't do as much as I maybe thought it would, but the one time Lancia did like resolve and work versus a Fiendsmith deck, it did really well. He's having to discard enough number of cards where he loses the grind. Like, he loses all of his follow up because all of his cards now cost a card from the hand. And so that was kind of cool. And I do like that it's very threatening for the float effect, that it forces your opponent to play awkwardly. It forces your opponent to remove this rather than worrying about other cards. And it kind of tunnel visions them, which it did against my opponent, where my opponent could have made a different action, dealt with a different card that was going to affect him, but he didn't. And he focused on this because this card is just, it's viewed as a much scarier card. So yeah, Lancia was interesting to say the least. I'm really just looking at this card, I feel like, as a shifter defense card. Other than that, I think it's okay. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'll go back in my matches again. I don't even think I made it very often. But then we played Chenning. He was a flex spot. This was the card that could have been Dweller, Leviature Dragon, Kraken. It could have been an 8 synchro potentially. It could have been second cruel enemy. I don't know what I want to be here yet. The Chenning felt very safe, so I wanted to go with that. I've definitely decided that this is just better than Gamir, mainly off the fact that Gamir cannot be made generically, where this can. And there was the one game I used talents. I stole a level 8 Fire King, synchroed it with Diva, made her free level 10. That was awesome. So yeah, I don't know what I want to do with this flex spot. I don't even know, this whole, if I was to play this deck again, for the regional, everything else in this extra deck has to stay. Nothing could change here. Everything else is defined. This is just the one spot I'm not sure about. I am a little interested, to be honest, in Leviature Dragon. Playing the trap card, I almost don't even care about the trap card. But the water recursion from Leviature sounds kind of cool, and being able to switch around materials is very interesting to me. But I don't know. It doesn't even feel that great either. So yeah, hard to say on this spot. Chenning is definitely a very safe pick. And then yeah, lastly, we're going to side deck. Tested 3 Nibs today instead of 3 Lancia because I wanted to see if I was going to like Nib or not. Get Nib out of here. So bad. Nope, not good. Not good. Especially in our deck. We don't play enough hand traps to be able to pair with it. And I think I sided in once. Thank God I didn't see it. Yeah, not good. And then we play Shifter and Fluoros for cross-out targets. And I did not play Droll here. Now, what will probably change is I'd probably cut one other card. And I'd probably be playing... I'd maybe keep one Nibbin for cross-out. I'd maybe swap this or also play one Droll. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with these cross-out targets yet. Man... I almost want to cut cross out, but in my last game of the day, cross out literally saved my life. And if it didn't, I was gonna lose the finals. So I'm very much happy I do play cross out. Like if this deck resolves, it wins. So I think these cards are necessary. And then yeah, these are obvious like cross out targets. Not worried about these. I think I actually, if I do increase the main deck, there is a world where maybe I cut the 2 talents, play 2 other water cards, and then play the Fluid Ross in the main, just as another Charmy to stop people going second. It seems very impressive, and I kind of wish I mained it. And then, yeah, Shifter. I did not play against any Shifter decks, believe it or not, so that was cool. It was very refreshing. But, yeah, so these will get cut for Lancias. Maybe one stays for a cross-out. I don't know. Maybe Droll. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Hard to say at this time, but Nib was very bad. Very bad. And then we played 3 droplets. I like droplet. When I needed it, it was there in the side deck, and when I saw it, it did its job. And so, droplet's cool. I do like droplets a lot. And then Lightning Storm and Harpy. These cards are busted. Every time I saw these cards today, I was winning. No questions asked. These board breakers are disgusting. Lightning Storm and Harpy, mandatory. I do not care what you say. And then Mizuchi, cut it, dude. So bad. I don't know why I played it. I was like just curious last minute. Honestly, this was like, the deck was done. The deck was done here, and I was just like, I need 1 card from my side deck. And I just thought, I'll try Mizuchi. I won't put Droll in. I'll just try Mizuchi. See if it ever comes up. See if I ever want to play it. I never wanted to. Maybe there's a time where I could have. I just forgot about it. But it just is that's how irrelevant it is. I mean, we're hand looping people. They're not gonna have enough cards to play anyways. The Mizuchi is overkill. It's not it. But yeah, that was the list. Very very fun. I was really shocked at how I did today. The power of this deck feels really cool. Like, you have unlimited options. You have a little bit better of a grind game because of you have, I guess where I'm going with this. So the reason I started building this deck in the first place was because I've been playing the Pokemon TCG Pocket game a lot, and that game, in that card game, the decks are built very different. And the way you build decks is like you have 20 card lists and portion and like cards, whether they're evolutions or they're supporter cards, parts of your deck in Pokemon, they're all meant to do one thing, and you have multiple different one things you do, and that maybe did not come across explained very well at all. But I guess like the idea is, I wanted the deck to be able to do different things on every single turn. And so the idea that on one turn you can Deep Sea King combo, on the next turn you can Lancia control, on the next turn you can Megalo, and maybe not that order, but the idea is that this deck can pump out a different engine every single turn, to some degree, and like that just seemed really cool to me. And it just seemed like, yes, every card here is like, there's a lot of bricks being added in, kind of, not even really, like not really. Honestly, it's Deep Sea King. It's infantry, kind of, Mulan, kind of, and then you could also say like, where is she? You could say like Gund is a brick. So like these were maybe the only like true, like these were like really the only bricks of the deck, and they all have like their pros and cons. Like if you open them, like there were times I opened a Gun today, I was not upset. There were times I opened infantry today, I was not upset. I don't think I opened this at all. I think I opened this once, and it's literally just whatever. You just don't care. And when you open this, it's unfortunate, but you have the Abyss Keeper. It doesn't feel good to get to it, but if you do, then you're winning anyways, so you don't really care. Yeah, I mean, if these are all the bricks you're playing in a 45, 44 card list, that's not so bad. Especially when like the rest of this deck is just so explosive. I mean, this deck is crashing through boards, man. It is insane. The most fun I've ever had playing Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like this list felt really strong. I'm gonna look back at the matches. I don't know if the matches were competitive enough to consider this deck more viable than the Deep Sea King Turbo build. But yeah, I'm tired. I have not reviewed my matches, and I'm rambling at this point. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Watch out, look out for upcoming feature matches. I got 4 of those bad boys, and they're all pretty nice. They're all fairly competitive. Like all viable decks. Just, we see differences, and whose deck is built better, and we see differences in certain technical play scenarios. But overall, it was a really good day. So yeah, all right, that's it. All right, peace. Later.